here's the building as it stands today. Actually, we've been taking some money out, so it might be a little bit shorter.
Take a little off the top.
Take a little off the top. But this is the main building. The front, the back, and the sides, basically 2 pull-through garages. And then to the south, on the south side will be the labs, on the north side will be the office areas. So I thought we'd just take a minute and I'd just go through the building area with you and explain what the heck we got here. The building right now stands about 72,000 square feet. If you guys, put it in perspective, we've got about 400,000 square feet at the DPG. So we've got to take a lot of stuff from there and jam it in here and frankly get rid of a lot of things too. But here is the building area itself. Here's the actual parking lot for employees. We've had to do a lot of pairing and shearing here, and the main portion of the parking lot for employees is going to be paved. We're going to have an overflow lot that's gravel. And what our focus has been, frankly, is to try and not affect the technical part of our business. And if we had to take money out of the project, it had to come out of areas that were less technical or creature comfort kinds of things. So the parking area, the road coming in, here's the gate. The building itself is, we've got the garages, and the garage setup is pretty much the way that Engineering North is set up, except that we don't have the center portion between the 2 garages, but it's a vehicle pull-in. We've got two pull-in sides, and we've basically got 20 hoists in each garage, on each side of the garage. And so you'll be able to pull in, and we'll have 40 hoists in total inside the building. And then again, to the north side, we'll have the office area, and the office area is going to be very cozy for all of you that have offices today, not labs, but offices. We'll have cubicles. We have something like 36 cubicles. That should be more than enough to accommodate everybody. And then basically that office area is going to be cut in half with a section for visitors. And the visitors are really going to be cozy because we're going to slam something like 48 of those guys in some very small spaces. Additionally, we're going to be in a cube setup as opposed to what we've got today. We've got a lot of offices because that's the old style stuff, and cubes is the new style. And so we're going to have to supplement it with more conference rooms. So we're going to have one large conference room that can accommodate about 50 people. And then we're going to have 2 or 3 other conference rooms that accommodate 20 people. And then there'll be several smaller conference rooms. And that's where you're going to have your conference calls, which everybody has been doing a lot of lately. So you don't disturb everybody else. You probably need to run to a conference room to do that. Any one-on-ones with supervisors or peers or something like that have to be done in a conference room, which is really different, a real different way for us to work than the way we have been working. So conference rooms will be more pronounced in this setup. We'll have a security area, and security will have cameras around the site, and they'll be monitoring shipping and receiving areas, the entrances and exits, and those kinds of things. We will have a lobby, a visitors parking area, and a lobby, and pretty much support all of our visitors through one entrance there. That'll be also a swipe system. Down in the south part of the main building, we'll have the lab areas. And the labs will be the fab and machine shop, and we're going to be putting something like 40 pieces of equipment in 3,500 square feet or 4,000 square feet. So it's going to, again, it's going to be pretty cozy on getting as much equipment as we can. And we've had to do a lot of purging as to what's the most important pieces, what do we use most. in our business, and so we've got it down to a manageable level. We've got the fleet office down here, the crib for parts, the product electronics and instrumentation folks will be together in one large laboratory, and the trans-build group will be down at the south end as well. And I think that's it. We'll have parking around the building. And outside over in this area, we're gonna have a sundralla, be a 20 hoist sundralla. It will also have an alignment facility, an enclosed alignment facility. And so we'll have, you know, with the 40 inside and the 20 outside, the total proving grounds will have 60 hoists to use, which will cause us to be as efficient as possible in how we use the hoists, and then potentially leverage shifts. We'll have to do the first and second shift as much as possible. Today, we've got over 200 hoists. You don't use them all the time, but you know, we do use a lot of them for peaks in our workload. So again, as those peaks happen here, we'll just have to be really efficient on how we use the hoists. We've got a large parking area south of the building for test vehicles. Part of it's going to be paved, the blue part's paved, the red part is unpaved gravel. This will be where our vehicle drop-off area will be. And then the other large building that we're going to have is a warehouse. Today we've got 3 warehouses. We've got one of them empty, but it's filling up with furniture. But we will have one large warehouse, and we'll have a tire canopy at the north side, and of course shipping and receiving will be down at the south side. So the actual area that we're going to have for storage will probably be in less than 10,000 square foot. We will also have a little carpenter's shop area and a maintenance area in the warehouse as well. Over just to, I guess, halfway is it? That's east.
Bob, when you talk about the warehouse, is that still gonna be air conditioned?
Warehouse,
Will be small.
the office area will be air conditioned, and the carpenter shop and machine shop will be air conditioned, but the balance of the warehouse will be swung.
Okay, all right.
To the east of the main building, we're gonna have a modular office. In fact, it might be this building right here. Sure. We can cut a deal with Turner, but it'll be a modular office for visitors, and we'll try and jam in as many visitors as we can. We have 48 spots in the main building. To me, this will be the modular office will be the primary area where we put them, at least initially, and hopefully we can get another 50 or so in there, because it's not untypical of us to have at least 100 visitors on site, so you know, we need to accommodate them. So, modular office, we've got some spaces over here for vendor trailers like Delphi and Bosch and some of those guys that come in and spend the development months with us. We have some covered parking area, you know, covered parking for instrumented vehicles, for some of our support vehicles that take a real beating in the sun load, and haulers, those kinds of things. Over in this area, we've got the fuel station, and the fuel station will have about as much capability as we have today. The total capacity in terms of gallons stored will probably be about half of what we have today. But the number of tanks that we have and the pumps that we have will be the same as what we have today. We will have capability for diesel. We will have capability for hydrogen, and blending capability. We will have a fuel building, pretty much what we've got today with barrel storage, and the ability to do any kind of fuel that we need. We've got a scrap compound behind a berm. We've got a car wash, yeah, we're gonna have a car wash. A new car wash, now we're not bringing that old thing with us. Scale house, ballast area, drying area. So, this configuration for the car wash is pretty much kind of the same setup we've got today, all the same elements in that area. What else, Frank?
Trailer parking?
How about employee-funded
Trailer
covered
parking?
parking?
Trailer parking?
Trailer, that was trailers?
Oh, yeah. And I think, well, we've got this area in here. It's gonna, we've sort of decided that trailers and dynos, not optimally, but could be parked in a gravel lot. And that's probably where they're gonna end up, down in this area.
What about the dining facilities, Bob? Like lunch and stuff like that?
Yeah, well, we're working on that. We do have a cafeteria in here, and we do have a dining area that'll accommodate like 80 people at one time, plus a patio. So there will be a place to eat lunch. Now, whether we can make lunch at a reasonable price, and it really turns into be a volume issue. We've been working with the vendors for the Army and seeing if we can make something work. The last resort would be is that we put a whole slug of vending machines in. What we'd like to do is be able to serve hot meals for everybody. But it's got to be cost competitive too. If we don't have enough people out here that participate in the cafeteria program, people can't pay $10 a meal for lunch. Okay. So we're trying to work through those issues. We are going to take a lot of the equipment that we have in our current cafeteria and move them out and try and make all that work. I should say a lot of the furniture that we're going to get for the new facility will come from General Motors units that are either moving or closing down or being consolidated. Our cubes are coming out of Pontiac Center Point, which is being vacated right now.
Couldn't you really get enough so they all match?
Oh yeah, they actually are going to match. Yeah. And a lot of our conference room tables and chairs are coming out of a call center in Oregon, Portland, Oregon. I think they're going to be sent next week, and we're going to store them in Building 52, the truck warehouse. So we're trying to grab as much as we can, put our dibs on it, and get quality furniture. And if you don't like it, Lupo was the guy that went there and picked it out. I like it. And he likes it. He's colorblind. So that's sort of the building area. Again, a lot of stuff. And I guess the paid political announcement here is that as we go forward, we're going to ask you to start tagging a lot of the things that need to come out here, and either tagging the rest of the stuff to be sold at auction, disposed of, or moved out for transfer to another General Motors site. Because again, if you look around our site, we got a lot of stuff. We're going to have to purge through it here in a pretty short period of time. So, as you're walking around the facility, think about, wonder if that should stay or go. And, then we need to, as we get further down the line, we'll have to really start making some hard decisions on some of the equipment.
Bob, excuse me, on that note, can we come to some type of tag or something on the web that we can go and actually put a name in, like saying, hey, lift behind hoist, whatever hydromatic might need that for, just so that when you go down the list, it's like, well, hey, somebody really wanted to hold that.
Yep.
And go back and revisit.
There actually is a tagging system that's been put together by Tom and a group of folks, Chrissy English, Jim Schmidt, and Max, and Rick Daniels. So we need to roll that out a little bit more, and probably make it a little more robust so that everybody gets into it.
And as far as place, I know it's probably going to be on an as-needed basis, but hey, you do need voice, what's the lift capacity of the ones that's actually in the buildings? Because right now, some of the places would dead end if we came in with a ballast, we have to de-ballast the vehicles instead of going outside to a truck race or something. Do we have an outside voice that we added in case we didn't have it up to the truck?
I don't remember all the configuration on the inside, do you?
The inside ones, I think most of the biggest hoists are gonna be out on this umbrella, just because, you know, it's easier to get the real big trucks in. I don't know, do we have like 30 or inside? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know.
19,000 now.
What's that?
19,000.
Yeah, I think outside we've got 24, 36, and 50. A couple of each. They'll be under this umbrella.
And then, I guess the question I have is, a while back, years ago, it was noted that the purge system in the warehouse, this would be, since we're gonna come up with a brand new facility, you put something in it, you have to name, put who you are on the tag or whatever, and your estimated purge date. And then when that date came due, they would call the contact person and put it to the house person, the engineer taking over for that person. Do you want to purge it, or do you want to move it out 6 months, or whatever? So we're not just seeing too much more, it's taking up space.
And I think that, the question is basically is to put some kind of a system together for stuff that goes in the warehouse. And I think we would have to adopt something like that just because we don't have that much space. I think that's gonna be very fruitful.
And then there was another thing, when they built another proving ground in the state here, we also reduced the road systems, such as the the track. When our workload peaks and things, any type of, I think we use the class system. We're still gonna have a traffic safety, I assume. And I'm just worried about the congestion, because you have reduced lane size, you have reduced mileage, but we have the same peak loads. And some of the vehicles are pretty crowded, congested out there. Any plans on controlling that congestion?
Not electronic at this time. We'll use traffic safety to be the monitors of the road systems to make sure it's safe. We've got to shoot people out.
I guess I'm always worried about snakes. How many snakes do we have? I guess it's going to be pretty prevalent.
Sure we won't have no more.
And out here, you probably, it's not much, as much of a worry of personal water.
Yeah.
Turn of the dirt.
You're pretty far away from any water.
You have wild burrows though.
Burrows.
So we staff
Ready?
drove out here one
Say the
day,
word.
and we come out and look at the site and stuff, there's about 5 of us in the vehicle, and there's 5 burros looking right back at us. Wow, they look just like us.
Thinking about burrows, are they gonna try to herd them off our fenced-in property before we get residents?
Yeah, I hope so.
We'll be on that calendar. Bring it out early.
Which brings up a good point. The whole facility is going to be fenced for security, very similar to what we have today. 7-foot high, chain link with 3 strands of barbed wire on top.
Is it gonna be facing out or in?
Well, I don't know.
Waiting to see who goes.
Yeah.
So, hopefully it'll keep, and as you guys know, at the Desert Proving Ground, it doesn't keep coyotes out, but hopefully it keeps burros out. Hopefully get them all out. And then up
Those gonna
at
go
this-
up in auction then, the burros?
What's that?
I said, are the burros gonna go up in an auction?
I think they're free.
They're
So
free?
they do burrow roundups, horse roundups, and they do auction.
Should we cook off and burrow around?
Yeah.
Or they could be farming.
One issue we do have along this, I think this is Martinez Lake Road, right?
No, it isn't, but it's an unnamed road.
Unnamed, oh, it's unnamed road. Anyway, it's pretty high up, and if you drive along that road, there's a pretty good vision onto the ground. So this will be an area where the security fencing will be very essential, and probably, I again, we're gonna use slatting like we do today and some high exposure areas, so, around the grounds in places, we will have slatted fencing as well.
Needs
as
a name, it could be Brenda Pretty Lane.
Yeah.
Another quick question, not to match some others, but throughout the next 8 months or year, however long people are gonna be bringing their family and stuff out, and they're probably gonna come by here, what are the chances of coming up to here? You know, to get into this building area, go to the bathroom, to refresh your family as you're showing them the area, or is it gonna be fenced off and you're off limits till you actually come out here?
Well, you know, actually, I know that the Turner guys are a little bit sensitive about who's coming out, especially with blasting going on and things like that. What I would suggest is that if you had any notion of coming this way, call me or Frank, and we will make some calls and see what.
Oh, you won't be my tour guide?
We.
But the point, when Turner gets hot and heavy, they're gonna have 200 to 300 people out to work. So they're very sensitive about, you know, visitors that don't need to be here, being here.
So we're not inside a fenced-in area then, so that road is open to the public, is what you're saying? That,
Yes.
the no-name road?
Well, here, out here you mean?
Yeah, like, I mean,
They're working on.
We gotta do a little bit of
getting that off.
negotiating, but we're planning, our plan is to put 2 key lock gates on either side of the road. And again, we're gonna keep the honest people out. We're not gonna
Right.
keep the dishonest people out. But we're gonna, you know, we're gonna put up gates to keep, you know, honest folks out that don't need to be up on that ridge road.
But, I mean, it's part of YPG, but if all YPG is, most of it is that, it's not really fenced,
Yeah.
people can go.
I mean, we almost got 1.8 million, so it's kinda tough to fence in the middle.
Hey, Bob. Name for that road, General Motors Boulevard?
No, actually, we already got that
Yeah,
thing
it's
there.
GM Center Road, I think.
Yeah.
1500 GM Center Road.
Sweet.
That's the road coming in, that'll be the asphalt road. Coming in.
No, it'll be
The Middle
off
Mountain.
of Middle Mountain.
Exactly.
Will be General Motors.
I mean, we're working right now to get you guys a permanent address. 'Cause right now you don't have one.
So I was scratching my head on the 1500. And he says, oh, it's the 1500 thing. Okay, well, that makes sense. Any other questions?
Hey, that archaeological site, is that like an old burial ground or something?
No, it's nothing like that. If it was, you wouldn't be here. But it's got significance, like bone, or not bone,
Pottery
arrow
chips.
chips, arrowheads, broken pots, that kind of stuff. But if it was an old Indian burial ground, you know, it wouldn't be here.
I think I walked up by this one on here. I didn't see it.
Exactly. You gotta
With an
really be
educated
looking.
eye,
Exactly.
you couldn't even tell.
And they're gonna be fenced off, and it'll be, you won't even know it's there. I mean, they're physically putting a 7-foot fence, chain link fence around it.
Probably totally irrelevant. As far as the Nextel service, being you're all encompassed in one building, that's gonna go away, obviously. I don't need that, thanks.
Well, that's a good question about Nextel service. It's mine's spotty at best.
Right.
And, you know, I know that General Motors has a fair contract with Verizon. They're coming out with a new push-to-talk,
Right.
and that may be a way we're gonna go. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Verizon said that they put up whatever we need in terms of tower and make sure that we were connected, and I think out here it's not bad connection.
I think Verizon's pretty good at it. Nextel's not too bad. Alltel's very good, because that's the contract we have. So I know a few folks that have their personal Verizon, and they don't have any problems, you know, in this general area.
So ideally, it'd be neat if we could do just Verizon handhelds for everybody's phones and not have to put desk phones on.
So that might have one you still know yet.
Actually, Verizon hasn't come out with this next generation of push-to-talk. I think comes out in January. So we tried the first shot at it, and it was okay, but it wasn't great.
I've heard it called push to wait.
Yeah, I think there's a 20 to 45 second waiting. But they say that their next generation will be just like next time.
Have we decided, however, that regardless, we're not gonna have desk phones, we're gonna have whatever the best cell phone is?
No, I don't think we've decided that yet. We may go, I think that desk phones are still, we're wiring. Okay. So, we don't want to paint ourselves into a corner.
Hey Bob, any more on adding people to second shift and making the second shift larger than what it is now?
I think just logically, we will probably go that way where we will have more second shift. As you all know, the vehicle time that we have vehicles at the Desert Proving Grounds continues to shrink, so we've got to do a lot more in the time we've got the vehicles. The way you do that is use more hours in the day, and one of the ways to do that is to extend the day work-wise. Now, whether it's a traditional two-shift operation or it's a Pat Holes two-shift operation, second half of the day kind of thing. Sorry, wherever you are.
Got a split shift thing.
That kind of a thing. But I think the goal is to extend the day.
That's convenient.
What's that?
Suggestion that every conference room should have one of those.
Yeah.
Little boys' room.
That's a cooler.
Sweet ball.
Anything else? Well, I just want to thank Wayne and Mara for their time. Thank you, guys. It's helpful I think it's helpful for the folks to see what's going on out here. I think as we start delving into the city of Yuma and seeing what that's all about, that'll be even more helpful. So I appreciate your guys' time helping us get around. So thanks. Thanks, Debbie, for coordinating a lot of this too. Okay. So Frank, you got anything? No. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll head out back towards the bus, and we're going to head over to the hotel. We got to drop the car off and clean out, and then we'll head over to the hotel, check in. Go from there.
Show me all your pictures when you get them.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions on the roads? Where we're going? Yes, ma'am.
So we've got both the serpentine type city course and the grid city course.
The figure 8 city course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both of those will be somehow configured on the dynamics pad.
Both of them.
Yeah.
So Bob, what's that in the middle of the circle track there?
Oh, good, thank you. We have two other road systems inside the circle. One's the interior noise road, and then this will be the exterior noise road. And we will have a little modular unit out in the exterior noise area for the computer equipment and the operator and for a couple of visitor stations. And around the circle track, we'll have windbreaks and we'll have vapor lock sheds and all those things that we have today.
What about dust, gravel? Will we use the army stuff for that?
The intent would be, yeah. We're not going to do anything on property, at least initially. That's where partnership comes in.
Yeah, exactly. And our dust course is probably 3 or 4 miles north on Highway 95. Well, not our dust course. We call it a gravel course, but to you it's a dust course.
Plenty of dust out
deal,
there.
yeah, we deal in different magnitudes of dust.
And I should mention too that as part of us being here, a couple of things that we're doing with the Army, and many of you know this, is that in this area, we are helping them fund a road system. And it's gonna be for a lot of the heavy-duty vehicles that they're gonna be running. And the other thing that we're doing in partnership with the Army is we're allowing them to run some of their smaller vehicles on our road systems. And it's, you know, it's not much different than what we're doing with Harley and Link West today. They'll have the ability to schedule with us to run if they need to run on an exclusive basis, but hopefully we'll be able to run, you know, as we do today with our partners most of the time, running concurrently. So that'll be, again, part of our partnership with the Army.
Did you say, I'm sorry, I missed how many lanes the straightaway was?
Straightaway's 3 lanes.
3 lanes, just like the current one?
Yeah, sure. Just a little.
You have to know how long your dust course is. Is it a loop?
Yeah, it's an oval. It's an oval. It's probably 3.5 miles
Okay.
total circumference. 3.5. And then we're putting a bigger one too. But
I'm trying to decide gravel or dust.
it's gonna be, well, again, we deal with, what we call dust is you walk out and the dust comes up to here, above your ankles. That's what we call dust. So we learned what you call dust, we call gravel. So that's why I say our gravel course is equivalent to your dust course. At least from the people that I've showed, the facility to.
One thing people are just driving, they've got plenty of dust down there.
Yeah.
That's no problem, we just need to work out the details for,
Right.
we're gonna have to correlate
Maintain it, and who has to
Yeah.
calibrate it.
all that stuff,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to figure that out.
And our test courses, we do keep them calibrated. Well, our gravel course, I'll use my terminology. Our gravel course, we run what we call course profilometer vehicle over it. We measure what the surface roughness is. And when we see that it goes out of spec, we'll go out there and do maintenance to it to get it back within spec. That's the kind of things that we do with our test courses.
And then, for the testing community here, I mean, one of the major considerations was the environmental conditions, and of course, heat's not a problem.
Yeah, got more of it.
Got that. And humidity is pretty similar to what we've got in Mesa. The issue that we've been most concerned about is the wind, and it is a little bit windier here, and we may run into some issues once in a while in our testing, but overall, it looks like, we can get most everything done that we need to get done.
Looks like there might be a little less monsoonal type activity.
Much less. I mean, just, looking at what you guys get in Phoenix versus what we get here.
As everybody knows, that's what kills us late in the season, and I don't think you get that so much here.
No. Like I was saying, you guys will get 5 monsoon storms to R1, basically. We get to Phoenix Station, so you guys get hit 3 or 4 times a week, where we're lucky to get hit once a month. That's a lot.
And I think your rainfall is about a third of what we
Yeah,
get.
we get 3 inches of rain a year.
Yeah. So maybe those 100-year storms really are 100 years.
Yeah.